Hey, let's estimate some decimal products and quotients. What do you think? Products, multiplication, quotients, division. We're going to get some close estimates today. So just to warm it up a little bit, round to the nearest whole number here. So 145.89 would round to 146. Cool, that's not showing up. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, there it goes. Now it's showing up. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Look at this. Well, what did the pirate say on his 80th birthday? I'm 80, of course. Here we go. Okay, 146. 199.27. Well, that's going to stay at 199. 101.06. 101. 28.45. That's a 28er right there. Estimating the product. Okay, 7.65 times 3.2. We're going for an estimate, not an exact answer. So let's round to the nearest whole number on both of these. 7.65, let's round it to 8. 3.2, let's round it to 3. 8 times 3 is 24. Knowing this skill is nice when you get to a quiz or a test. If you're just like quick checking your answers, if somehow you end up with like 210 with a problem like this, you can do a quick check, be like, 7 times 3 is 21, so it should be pretty close to 21. So let's try a few more here, and then I'm going to have you try a few out. 4.72 times 1.8. Let's call it 5 times 2, which is 10. 1702 times 3.78. Again, you can round to 17, and that's fine, but not many people know their multiples of 17, so let's even round it to 20. Now we bumped that up quite a bit. So you could, in turn, bump down your 3.78 to like 3. 20 times 3 would give us 60, and again, we're just looking for estimates. So if you wanted to go closer and you did 17 and 4, 17 times 4 is 68. Now that's a little closer probably to the actual answer, but that's bumping up 3.78 to 4. So it would fall somewhere between 60 and 68, most likely. And then this last one, 8.25 times 19.8. Let's call it 8 times 20. Now think of 8 times 2 is 16. So 8 times 220 would be 160. These are giving us nice estimates. So I have, let's see, do I have 6 for you to try here? Yeah, I have 6. I'd like you to pause it and try it right now, and I'll go over them right now. So let's see if we can end up with some answers that are close. Let's call it 5 times 7. Maybe. 5 times 7, 35. Let's say 11 times 4, 44. 6 times 9, 54. Let's say 25 times 4, which is 100. 3 times 58, let's call it 3 times 60. 3 times 6 is 18, so 3 times 60 would be 180. And then 0.08 times 40, 0.05. 0.08 is pretty close to 0. And 0 times 40 is 0. Now that's kind of a wonky estimate. Realistically, let's see, times 0.10 would be 4. So yeah, the realistic answer would be somewhere under 4, like 3.8. But 0 is pretty close to 4, or 3.8. Arlene. Oh my goodness. Arlene. She bought 6 yards of fabric to make this Lone Star quilt. Look at the quality of fabric on this Lone Star quilt. The fabric cost $6.75 per yard. The sales clerk charged Arlene $45.90 before tax. Did the clerk make a mistake? Explain. So let's go with some rough estimates. She bought 6 yards of fabric. Come on now, there we go. we're going to multiply the cost per yard. $6.75, let's just call it $7. So 6 times 7 is 42. She's charging us $45.90, which is close, but think of this. We bumped up to 7. It was $6.75. So realistically, our realistic answer would be less than $42. So the clerk did make a mistake. The clerk may have. I mean, we don't know if this is including, before tax. The clerk made a mistake. We all do, right? The total should be less than $42. And yeah, that's a great deal for a Lone Star quilt like this. $42? You serious right now? That's a deal. You buy 8 rolls of film for your camera, each costs $4.79. Estimate the cost before tax. $4.79 is pretty darn close to $5. So if we did 8 times that $5, it will give us $40. Now realistically, it would be less than $40 because we bumped the $4.79 up to $5. All right, I have 2 here for you to try. We got some burgers. We got some sports equipment. So pause it here, try them, and I'm gonna go over them right now. Tom bought 6 hamburgers for $2.89. So let's say 6 times $3 should be $18. The athletic director bought 5 soccer balls for $12.29 each. Pretty darn close to $12. So 5 times 12 would give us $60. Now that's a bit of an underestimate because we bumped $12.29 down to $12. So it'd probably be a little bit over $60. Now when you're dividing, you're going to want what are called compatible numbers, which are numbers that you know can divide evenly. So if you had 13, that's a bad example. If you had 20 divided by 3, 20 doesn't divide evenly by 3, so you might want to use 4 instead of 3, because then you know 20 divided by 4 is 5. So let's talk bowling balls for a little bit. It's like, oh man, first quilts, now bowling balls and pins? Don't get me too excited, Mr. Plant. A bowling ball has a mass of 5.61 kilograms. Each bowling pin has a mass of 1.75 kilograms. About how many bowling pins are equal to the amount of bowling ball in mass? Estimate 5.61 divided by 1.57. Now, let's round that 1.57 to 2. 5.61, we want to make sure that number, whatever we estimate it as, is divisible by 2. So we can use 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that we're talking about pins here, so 3 pins. We want to choose numbers that you can actually divide for the estimate. So we're going to do these 3. 38.9 divided by 1.79. I like to start with the number in the back. Divided by 1.79, let's call it divided by 2. Now 38.9, it's close to 39, but 39 isn't evenly divisible by 2. So you could bump it down to 38, sure. You could bump it to 40. Personally, I would bump it to 40. We're getting an estimate, and 40 is easier for me to divide by 2. So 40 divided by 2 would give me 20. And if you did 38 divided by 2, it would be 19. They're very close. We're getting close estimates, not exact answers. 11.95 divided by 2.1. Let's say divided by 2. 11.95 is pretty close to 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 82.52 divided by 4.25. Let's call it divided by 4. 82 is pretty close to 80. And I know what 80 divided by 4 is. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So 80 divided by 4 would be 20. So let's see how many we got here. There are 6 here that I'd like you to try, and then we'll go over some word problems together. So pause it, try it, here we go. 3.9 divided by 2.1, I'm going to say 4 divided by 2, which is 2. 3.86 divided by 1.95, again I'm going to say 4 divided by 2, which is 2. 19.56 divided by 0.71, I'm going to say divided by 1. 19.56 is pretty close to 20. 20 divided by 1 is 20. $585 divided by 1175. Well, let's think about some compatible numbers here. 585 is pretty close to 600. 11.75, pretty close to 10. And those are easy numbers to work with. $600 divided by 10 would be $60. We are getting estimates. 18.2 divided by 3.4. Well, 18 can divide by 3. Give us 6. 57.1 divided by 7.2. Well, I know that 7 goes into 56. So we can make this 56 divided by 7, which is 8. Sweet. Marshall buys a sack of peaches for $5.98. If the peaches weigh 2.77 pounds, what price per pound? Sorry, I ate too much hot sauce for lunch. About what price per pound did Marshall pay? So price per pound. Our price was $5.88, which is pretty close to $6. Pounds, we have 2.77. That's pretty close to 3 pounds. So $6 over 3 pounds, that divides out to $2 a pound. $2 per old. Is 2.15 a reasonable quotient for 17.931 divided by 8.34? We're looking for compatible numbers. 17, 8. I know 8 goes into 16. So if we were to do 16 divided by 8, it comes out to 2. So yeah, I'd say that's reasonable. Yes, 2.15 is reasonable. Hey, check this out. This is actually a nice test-taking tip. You can sometimes use estimation to eliminate answer choices on a multiple choice test, like the SAT, things like that. You can get rid of it if you can quickly estimate. So what is 8.19 divided by 2.1? Think of 8 divided by 2 is 4. So like 39, way off. 0.4, way off. So then you've eliminated half of your choices. That's awesome. Thanks, math book. Appreciate it. Use estimation. Is each quotient reasonable? Explain. 1.564 divided by 2.3, 0.68. Well, this is like less than 2. It's kind of like 1-ish, 2-ish maybe. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. So yeah, we bumped both of those down. So yeah, that's reasonable. $26 divided by 4.98. Well, I know that 5 goes into 25. 25 divided by 5 is 5. They have 52, so not reasonable. Oh, that is unreasonable. So we'll close it out with these. I want you to try these two, pause it, try them, see if you can come up with if these are reasonable estimates. 102 divided by 22, so let's say 100 divided by 20, and 100 or 20 goes into 100 5 times. They have 45, so I'd say not reasonable. Over here, 3240 divided by 480. I can do 32 divided by 4, and that's 8. They came up with 67. No, that's not reasonable either. That's just silliness. That is just silliness. So that's estimating with decimal products and quotients. That was fun.